Alright, in this video I was kind of thinking about consuming versus creating. So there's a place we need to have the balance of both, but sometimes we get so caught up in consuming, like everything that's outside of us in the outside world, that sometimes we don't, or we may feel like we're not very creative. Because in the past, I didn't believe that I was very creative, like when I was younger. So I just always thought I'm just not a creative person. But sometimes throughout life, maybe the experiences we've had, or the things we've been told by our peers or society, or anything, or maybe we just don't believe it, or, you know, all that stuff that we don't believe we are. So we don't even try to do it. So we are always looking for outside sources and outside stuff to tell us who we are, what we should do, what is expected of us. And again, like I was saying, you got to have the balance of both. We do have to have boundaries. We do have to have standards. We do have to strive for certain things and have goals and stuff we want to do and stuff I collect Funko Pops, and that's me consuming them, and someone created them. Someone created the movies, someone created all that stuff. So again, you do have to consume because I enjoy what people create, just as like some people are consuming my content. And so there has to be a balance, but we need to do both. We don't want to get caught up too much in consuming all the time, because there is creative stuff. So I was kind of looking to see what like some of the differences is between the two, and one of the things is expression and innovation. So like anything, like doing the videos here is expression, music, writing, art, like anything, like gardening, anything that you do that is fulfilling, that you like to do, is creative. And also the other side too. So, and again too, like, and another thing, it says active engagement. So like, I know I get some of my inspiration from watching other people's videos. They give me ideas, and not really their ideas, but like when I'm watching other people's content or reading books or listening to other stuff, sometimes just ideas come to me. And then, you piggyback off that, because again, a lot of people say similar stuff or have similar ideas, but sometimes the execution or the presentation, it resonates more with someone else. Like I always use Trent Shelton because he always says it, like, somebody needs your message, somebody needs your video, somebody needs you, because he reaches so many people. Like, everybody has their own audience. There's so many people in the world, and some people resonate with other people, and some people create, like my parents and stuff, they do arts and crafts and stuff, and some people like their stuff, some people like other stuff. But again, they have to keep creating it, and then the people that want your stuff or want your content or want your art or your music or read your poetry or whatever, they will find it. But if you don't create it and make it, well, then they ain't gonna find you. And that's why the internet's so awesome, because now you have so many avenues to get your stuff out there so that people can consume it. So there has to be a balance. I'm not saying one's better or the other. It's just that if you're not you just don't want to go too far on either ends. Because again, at the same time, I used to, like, now I look at it as, when I'm buying something that someone else created. So I'm actually like serving them, or donating towards them to pay them for their work, because they're putting their time and energy in it. And that's what money is. It's not really it's not the root of all evil. It's an energy exchange. I'm paying you for the services you're rendering to me, and then the other way around, your people will be paying me eventually for the services that I'm rendering. And it's just that's the way I kind of looked at it, and it changed the way I looked at it. I looked at it as more of like, what kind of value do you get out of the creation or the consuming? Like, I'm hoping everybody that consumes what I'm creating gets value out of it. Like, maybe like, wow, I never thought of it like that. I want to have impact on people, like people have had impact on me. It made me realize things about myself. It made me more self-confident. It made me believe that I could do more stuff. It made me realize that it's a process to get here, and it's a process to continue to do it. And you just have to keep going about it. And and I get fulfillment out of that, of doing that process and working through that process. And then I see it in myself, and then I try to help show other people that it is. Like, I can't tell anybody what your process is, what your fulfillment is, what your creativity is, what you want to consume. That's all on you. That's personal preference. And like it says here, personal fulfillment is a strong sense of fulfillment and satisfaction that comes from creating something unique and you know, sharing it with the world. Thanks, Gigi. And so again, it's doing those things that, like I was saying in the other video about, you know, leaving when I'm done writing a paper. I did that. That's a sense of fulfillment. It's a sense of accomplishment. And that's what we need more of. And sometimes this thing up here keeps us from doing that. Gives us every reason why we can't be creative. We can't be fulfilled, that we can't do it. People are going to judge us. Like all these things. And they're right. People are going to judge us. But you have to learn to, you know, let that judgment go, you know. And I don't know if I told this story before, but it just kind of popped in my head. Wayne Dyer used to always tell this story, and I thought it was kind of funny. And he used to send these to like all the people that criticized him when he was younger, and it was by H.L. Mencken or something. And he used to send this note off to everybody that said, "I'm sitting here in the smallest room in my house," and we all know what room that is, "with your letter of criticism before me. Soon it will be behind me, H.L. Mencken." And like, you know, he used to send that off to all the people that criticized him and send him letters and all this stuff. Now at the end of his life, he's like, I wouldn't, you know, do that anymore. But the fact that he liked to tell the story told a little bit about him. So I always thought that story was funny, and since he's no longer with us, I thought I would share that. But so again, there's always going to be somebody that doesn't agree with you, someone that doesn't like you, someone that just doesn't, that maybe they're just not happy with themselves. I don't know. Like I said before, I can't say what's going on in anybody's life and the reasons they have behind the way that they are. That's something that you know, they have to deal with. I know that I always haven't been happy with everything that's went on in my life, but I've always tried to learn from my mistakes and keep getting better. And now I'm here trying to create, and I believe that we all have something inside of us that we can create. And there's something inside of everyone. And if you haven't figured it out yet, that's okay. You know, I'm still figuring it out. That's just part of life. That's the school of life, is living in the moment, living in the scenarios you're in. And then the ups and downs, the lefts and rights, the twists and turns, you know, we all go through that stuff. But at the end of the day, sometimes those things, even though sometimes when you're going through that stuff, it's not fun, and it sucks, and it's hard, and it's emotional at times. But you have to realize that at some point, those emotions, you got to feel them and let them go. And then see what happens. Because if we hold on to all those pent-up emotions, then we don't allow space for the answers to come. That's why I think journaling is so critical, or just speaking to somebody about it. And you know, you don't need answers all the time. Sometimes you just need to get it out of your head and get it out in the open. And then that allows the space for the answers and what it is that, you know, the creativity or whatever it is to come in and help you, the learning, like all that stuff, problem solving, you know. But you have to put that energy out there first, feel it, let it go. Like the Bible verse, ask and you shall receive. If you don't start asking for things, you're not going to receive. And sometimes, you know, I think sometimes the temperature with religion and all that stuff now in society is too much, and some people just, you know, disengage from it. And that's why I like spirituality so much more, because it's my relationship with it, with the divine, with the energy of the universe and that. And everybody has their own relationship to that. And that's what I'm saying, ask and you shall receive. It might not come overnight, but if you put that energy out there, eventually it's going to come back. It's just that most of the times we don't even do it anymore. Went off on a tangent there. Nice. So that's the thing. Expression of innovation, active engagement, engaging in it, problem solving. thinking outside the box, like putting boundaries up, asking and seeing if you receive, and you will. Personal fulfillment and contribution, like getting on here and doing that stuff. So that's all like creative stuff. And then like consumption, acquisition. But like I was said, we all need to consume. We just got to keep that balance, because there wouldn't be a give and take. There wouldn't be an energy exchange if it wasn't consuming and creativity. Everything has to have its opposite, or its thing. Because again, we don't know east without west, up without down, like I was saying the other day. But that's the thing, you got to have that balance. Passive engagement. So okay. Oh, immediate gratification is a huge one, because everybody wants everything now, and sometimes you don't always see the results. When you ask, you don't receive. You may receive it overnight, but you don't always receive it overnight. And sometimes it takes time for the universe to align the scenarios into your favor, so you can learn what it is or have the thing come to you. The better you get at it, the faster it comes, I guess. I haven't figured out the instant manifestation yet myself, but I have seen some delayed gratification. And sometimes the delayed gratification is the best gratification, because then you put your time and energy into it and kept doing it, doing the journaling, doing the meditations, yoga, whatever it is that you feel compelled to do to help bring these things out, or help, pray or go to church or whatever it is. That just starts the process of it all coming to you. That puts you in the right state for the answers, for that gratification to come to you. Now again, but we've just always been taught with that immediate gratification, man. It has to be now, and it's just I just wish people would learn how to settle down. But it is what it is. So, and then it says something about relying heavily on the external for entertainment. I mean, God, I remember years ago when anytime anything goes south, and I remember a long time ago when the power went out and everybody flipped out and bought up everything, and it's just you get nervous when there's change or uncertainty and all that stuff. And I know that I don't know if they feed off that, or if they do that so you will consume all that stuff, because you think of 2012, Y2K, like all those events that you went out and bought a bunch of stuff that we really didn't need, because we on the base that we needed it, because if we didn't, that the market was going to crash, or the world was going to end, or what was the other one? All the computers were going down in Y2K. You were going to lose everything, like all the information, and none of it happened. And it's like, but yet people went out and bought all kinds of stuff. They all consumed. So that's like the external source telling us that we have to consume all this stuff, like getting us afraid. And I don't know if anybody's noticed, but like every time there's a storm, it's the storm of the century. You're going to be in your houses for days. You ain't going to make it to the store. And then all of a sudden it snows 2 inches, and you're like, what happened? But that's just the way it is now. Like a lot of the media, a lot of this, everything goes based off your like fear. It scares you into doing things. And, we have I don't even know how many millions a year old survival mind that just goes based off of how am I going to survive? And we really don't need that anymore, but it seems like the media and everything has learned how to use that to their advantage to get us to do things that benefit them in the long run, and which is kind of a little shady in my thought process, but it gets clicks, it gets you to do stuff, and it makes them money, so at the end of the day, they're happy. But that's the external consumption of believing all that stuff. Now again, it could be a really big storm, but maybe have a little bit, but don't go too crazy. But that's on a case-to-case basis, so I'm not going to judge anybody that wants to do that stuff. I just try to get what I've learned, because in some of the classes I've taken for some of this stuff, I've learned that there was a study done that we are like 80% more likely to click on a headline that's about our survival, that scares us, that like it's like negative, and like the 20% will click on the positive stuff because we want to know if the storm of the century is coming, because what's going to happen to us. We want to know if we're going to survive. So it's that survival mind that controls our lives. So they know that now. So that's why, I don't know if people have noticed, but then there's all like I'll click on articles sometimes. I'm guilty of it too, so I'm not judging. But like I've clicked on articles where I'm like, this isn't even what the headline said, and I don't even find out the information that's in the headline. But once you click on it, you clicked on it. So to me, I mean, I don't know. I haven't used that. I don't know if I will, but it's like, I don't know. It's just kind of shady. But anyway, but the awareness of it, once I became aware of it, then I started seeing it everywhere. So but that's the thing, is that we have to become aware of things. So, and then, yeah. So again, no matter what, it's a balance. Just, I'm not down on anybody for whatever they choose to do with whatever it is that they do, with their money, their lives, their whatever. You know, be creative, consume, do it all, experience everything as a human being. I'm just trying to get awareness out that this stuff's out there, so then that way you can make your own choices, and that way you can do whatever it is, and maybe believe in yourself if there's something out there. Even little, you know, every little thing we do to create doesn't have to be a $1 million idea. It just has to be something you enjoy, something you enjoy doing. Big or small, all this stuff is it's all about your own personal journey of discovering what it is you like to do, what makes you happy, and what you like to do. Again, I love these figures, man. I'll always buy them. I'm a huge Star Wars, Marvel fan. I'm a, I don't know, athletic nerd. I don't know, but at the end of the day, you know, everybody's different, and that's what makes us all different in this crazy world we live in. So. But anyway, that's just kind of my message for today. My teaching point was, you know, try to have that balance between the both of them. Try to be the best version of yourself. Never be too hard on yourself. None of us are perfect. I'll keep saying it till the day I die, is that you just got to keep learning in this crazy journey of life. But the more you look inside, the more that you're able, I say, manifest from the inside, on who you are, your values, your beliefs, who you are as a person, and then try to use that to create something great, or just create something here and there. And then when you see something you like, you know, give the person money because they put their time and effort into creating that for you. So it's my appreciation to buy those, because I appreciate those things. So, but again, any questions ever, just ask. I can even make videos about your questions if you ask, or I'll answer your questions. Like and subscribe. I'm just trying to keep getting this going. And yeah, you guys have a good day, and I love you.